Good evening and welcome to our Thursday evening crafting session. My name is Jenny McCormac. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I'm based in the market town of Brackley in Northamptonshire, and that's here in the UK. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. It is Thursday evening, the 27th of February 2025, and the stamp set we've been using for Coffee and Card, which is also our chosen stamp set of the week, is Storybook Garden Patch, this one here, that features, as you can see, it's an all image set of stamps. There's 10 altogether. We have 5 vegetables, so we have peas, we have, I believe this is actually a beetroot, not a radish as I called it. We have strawberries, the fruit, and then we have carrots, and this could be lettuce or it could be cabbage. Good evening to you, Caroline. Then we have a series of pots. We have a watering can, a fork, a trowel and a trug. Now this set also has available a set of matching dies. So if you have a die cutting machine, there are 14 dies in total. So 10 of those cut out these elements here, as you can see. So we've got the outline for the fork, we've got the outline for the trug, the trowel and the 5 vegetables or fruit. There's also this additional piece here, and then in addition to that, as well as cutting out the outline for the pots, it also cuts the detail for the pots. If I show you here, this is the outline, and then it's got a detailed set. Now I've cut these out of different colours so you can see them, but my plan is to use some ink on this to make them a similar colour. So I've cut this out in Calypso Coral and also Cajun Craze. So there's 2 for the pots. Obviously you could just stamp the pots and cut them out with the single die, that's fine. We also have 2 for the watering can. So one cuts out the watering can as stamped, and then we also have this detail for the watering can. So this is the watering can which you could stamp and cut out, but it also has this level of detail that fits on the top. And I've cut these out in these colours because I want them to look like sort of rusty, rather well worn items. So I could have cut this out in blues, but I've stuck with these same colours. The other die that we have is this rather strange looking one, and this cuts out the ground, and it has some slits in it so that you can pop in, for example, the carrot or the beetroot top. Those 2 are ones that would obviously come out of there. You could also cut out and put the lettuce sort of behind, but if I turn this over, not whether you can see that, there's 2, let me see if I can slide this in to show you a little bit better. So there's a slot there, and then there's another slot here to the left. So what I'm going to do is pop some items in there. So I've cut 2 of these so that I can have my ground, and I've used some of that lovely Country Woods paper. So although this is designer's wood, I thought it did look rather like some ground there. If I just lift that up, hopefully you can see that. So I'm going to, I wonder if I might just actually cut out some greenery to make it look like the carrot tops sticking out. So I might do that. So these were the cards that I made earlier. These are the ones that I made in person. So I've got some simple masking there. Sorry, that's Woody making a lot of noise. And 3 of the vegetables. And then we have this one with a little bit more masking going on that I did at Coffee and Card on Monday. So, let me shut the door from a noisy dog to start with. I'm hoping that will work. And what I want to do is just add some texture to these elements here. So, let me grab a blending brush and sort of an orangey brown is what I need. Let me see if I've got a brown one to hand. Let's have a look. Everything but that might do the job. I could also actually use a blends pen for some colouring, but let's just try this. So let's grab some Cajun Craze. And I've just got a little off-cut of card here. So I hope everybody's had a good week. Can't believe, here we are. Thursday already. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this. Now I haven't stamped this because I'm using this panel here, and that covers up effectively the stamped area. So I hope you've had a reasonable week so far, Caroline. So you can see the difference. So this started off as the same colour as the watering can, and you can see how that's darkened up. And then I'm just going to use a little bit here on the edge of the pots. Sneaking suspicion I just put Cajun Craze over my face. Okay, that's those there, and I'm going to do the same with the watering can. Like so, just to give it a little bit of interest. Now you could literally just stamp and cut out the watering can if you wished. Okay, right, let's put those two together. Let's cover that up because it's quite inky. Turn that over for the minute. So I've got this detail here that's going to go on the top, and ideally fine tip glue would be perfect, and I'm just scanning my desk and I can't see any, so I will just use some plain glue, just some liquid glue. And I'm just going to add a little bit on the slightly larger areas of my watering can detail. If you have one of the little glue applicators that I often share, then you could use that, or a little sponge, or put a little bit of glue on some card and then just dab this onto it. What you don't want to do is get too much glue that's going to go everywhere. Okay. So there's that for our watering can. And let's do this with the pots, exactly the same thing. Let's see what Caroline said. I haven't got my phone with me. Friday comes around very quickly. It certainly does. It certainly does. And it's the last day of February tomorrow as well. So the last day of our celebration offer for freebies. So if you don't understand how that operates, just message me and I can explain. Okay, so I'm going to pop that one on the top there. I did get it all over my fingers, look. Okay, so I've got some pots and I've got a watering can. I've got some ground here, and I think what I'm going to do is just cut that at a little angle, and I'm going to pop this on top, and that is going to go, I think, across the base of my card. So I've got the basic beige card, and I might put it on a layer, or I might do the whole thing on here. I'm just going to decide in a second which way I'm going to do it. Actually, I need to put this further over, hoping that's in shot. Okay, so I'm going to cut out some little carrot tops, put this on here, and then I'm not sure I'll have enough space actually for both the watering can and the pots. So it might be the watering can and maybe the trowel or something. So let's cut out. Just going to try the carrot tops on their own. I say they're carrot tops because it's that sort of shape. So I'm just going to cut those out with a little offcut of green. I think I'll use whatever I've got. So I've got this offcut here, which is Granny Apple Green. So let me just bring my machine up just to the edge here. I'm not going to put it right in shot because you won't be able to see anything much. So I'm just going to pop that die onto there and run it through. And if you've only got a small die going through, obviously I could use my small machine, and I always recommend just using the edges of your plates. You don't need to put it in the middle. Okay, so there's one. I think what I'm going to do maybe is I could do 4 and then stamp and colour one in. And I could do another piece of ground as well if I wanted. Come on, let you come. Looks like I'm wearing nail varnish with my Cajun craze. Okay. So that's my third one. There we go, and the fourth one. Quick way of getting your little dies out is just to do what I did, and that's just drop it on your table. Just make sure it doesn't bounce off anywhere though. So I've got 4 pieces that are going to go into there. That was that die, and I think what I'll do is maybe stamp a couple of carrots and put them in there. These are all our masks from earlier in the week. Actually I could have the I wonder if it would work with the trug, and I could tuck a few carrot tops in there, just seeing what that looks like. Yes, I might do that. So I'm going to stamp that. I'll stamp a carrot as well, just because, and we'll cut those out. Let me grab a small piece of white card. So what we'll do is just come off a square card that I've cut. So just going to stamp these. I'll stamp them in espresso. I'll see who's joined us. Carol's joined us, and Fran. Hey Fran, thanks for joining us, and hi to you, Carol. So I'm going to stamp 2 of these. Definitely need to re-ink that. And let's stamp the trug as well. So I'm thinking I could put a little slit in the trug and have my carrot top sticking out of there as well. Okay, let's just do that. I'm going to cut these, colour these in first. Just really quickly. So I use probably, sorry about the noise, pumpkin pie or peach pie for my carrot, a little bit of greenery, and the trug could be crumb cake, something like that. I'll take my glasses off. Now when these get cut out, looking to see how much of a border there is around them. So it's quite close to that. So sometimes if I'm doing this to cut out, I don't worry too much about the edges. I'll just run my pen off the edge. Just do that really quickly. When I was very young, I remember having a like a little allotment farm, and I remember having rows of cabbages or rows of lettuces and things like that. Okay. And let's add, this is light pumpkin pie. Obviously if the carrots had just come out of the ground, they would be covered in soil as well. Okay. So I'm just doing that pretty quickly. I'm not doing any shading, but you could obviously do that. I'm not sure whether I'm going to use this or not, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. Let's just add this in for the trunk. So this is light crumb cake. I should have looked for my new one, but it will do the job. Like so. So this is a great set if you've got people who love growing their own crops, or if they love gardening. There we go. And I might as well, so I've got a light granny apple green tab, which I have. Oh, not that one. So So I'm literally just scribbling in where those leaves are for the carrot. Not really in any detail. I've got a darker line now. Make it a little bit more similar. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to cut those out and then basically put this scene together. So I have got the pots which I could put behind here. Maybe I should have chosen a different colour for my watering can, but okay, so I'm just going to extract that, die cut the trug and my carrots, and there's the trug. And also you could add in the fork or the trowel as well if you wanted to. So just pop this through. Sorry you can't see the detail of this. I've just got it on the side of the screen there. I was going to prepare some of these vegetables earlier, but I only found my dies at about 2 minutes to 7. So the only thing I had time for was to cut out the other bits that I'd done already. Okay, there's one of those. Let's do another carrot and the trug. Like so. When we had our all-day event beginning of this month, Sam, my colleague, did a great card featuring these. They're really good fun. And we've just released details of our next all-day event, which will be the 26th of April. Okay. Let's have a look and see. So, my plan, I think I'm going to put this on a slightly smaller piece of basic beige. So bear with me 1 second. And I hope you're well, to the ladies that have just joined us. To Fran and Carol. Hope we're still live as well. It's always that question mark. Okay. Let's just make this 10 centimetres. I don't want to make it too small because I haven't actually got that much space to play with. By 14.35. Like so. Okay. Oh. So I've got some ground here. Let me lift this up a little bit, see. Make sure you can see it okay. So I've got some ground which I'm going to have going off there, and then another bit of ground here, like that. So let's stick that down first. Now this has got those little slits in for the carrot tops. I'm just wondering if I might put those in first. I think that's going to be easier. So I could either use a little bit of tape on the back or a little bit of glue. You could also put the full carrots in like so, sticking up if you wanted to. My feeling is, my feeling was I was going to have them down, but actually now they're a bit big for my trug, aren't they? So I'm going to put a slit in here and put them in, but actually oh, now I'm torn. Okay. I've got 4 to play with. Okay, I'm going to put this down first. So forget my original plan. Let's stick this down. So I'm making sure that my glue is only going to go along the very bottom, so that I don't glue those slits closed. I know you can't see them on there. Okay, I'm going to bring this one over to the left, like so. And then I've got another one here which can overlap quite nicely, and I've made it slightly less deep as well. So we've got that and that. Now let me see, I'm going to go for pots. I'm going to go for watering can. It feels like it's a better size. The pots are quite big, aren't they? So let's pop this layer on, and then I'll trim the edges off as I need. So just a tiny bit of glue across the bottom, like so. I guess you could put that on with dimensionals if you wanted to. Let me lift that up so you can see it. Okay, I'm going to trim those 2 edges off. Seem only to have large scissors, but they'll do the job just nicely, like so. Okay, so now I'm going to decide. Oh, I did have my trug as well, didn't I? So I could have some carrot tops tucked in like that because they haven't been harvested, and then I think maybe these need to go on, this needs to go on the ground. Okay, right, let's put a little glue behind that. Put a little bit either side. Then lift that one up. Like so. Same with this one. I'm just putting a dab of glue on either side so that I know it's going to attach itself. And here, let's bend that out a bit. Like that. Hopefully you can see that okay. And then I've got 2 more. So I could have my trug here. Which I could cut a hole into and have him on there, tucked in. So let's pop these in those little holes as well. I'm not worried if some of these get covered up a little bit, that's fine. And you could use your pokey tool, especially if you have the little sort of palette knife, to lift that up to help you. So this is your take your pick tool, sorry. Is that one? And then there's the other one there. Big. There we go. There we are. So there's our carrot tops sat in there, and I want to cut a line in here. So we do have on our take your pick tool the option of a craft knife. Now what I do need is something to cut it onto, so I'm going to use my plate here, maybe use the edge of it, and take my glasses off, and I just want to cut a slit along here. Like so. Just going to make it a little bit bigger. All going to cascade off my desk, and so my thought is to tuck these in here like so. I want them a bit more of an angle, so what I'm actually going to do is snip the edge of that off. And I could also cut actually the bottom of the carrot off. So there's one, there's two, like that. Cute. Okay, let's pop a little bit of glue on those. Just hold them into place. Going to put that down there. So there's my trug with my harvested carrots, which can go on dimensionals on top, and then I suppose it could go anywhere on there, but it sort of feels right just being off to one side. So do I need that, or do I just have that? Looks a bit busy now, doesn't it? I guess I could have this . Like so. Sorry, don't do it up in the air, Jenny, because nobody can see what you're doing. So that would sort of work. Can have that lifted up a little bit. Just looking to see if there's any other suggestions. Don't put my glasses on. No, doesn't look like it. That can go right to the edge, I think. So let's pop that on. I'm going to pop it on flat. Just a little bit of glue, you don't have to go mad. So this is sitting on the ground, like so. Okay. And then my carrots in their trunk are going to go down there, like that. So, on balance, I could have put this further up. I might add another bit of greenery, actually. And I put another piece of greenery behind there. Just think I could take one out of there, but I quite like it looking sort of lush and green. Okay, so what I need to do is just do something with the background here. So I could stamp a scene in the background. I think what I'm going to do is add some blue for the sky here, along with a sentiment. Let's pop that behind. Grab a blue blending brush. Everything but. There's a blue one. I don't know if there's enough on here already. Might be. Yes, there is. Might need a little more than that. A bit of Pool Party will do. Normally I would use Balmy Blue, but that's packed in my bag. So a bit of Pool Party is. Just adding that little bit of interest to the background. I guess if you had some trees, you could stamp some trees in the distance. You just need to watch the relative size, that's all. And I could add another line of carrots as well to fill that in. So there's lots you can do with this. Just wanted to show you how you could utilise some of the dies, and in particular this die cut with the slits in it ready. Okay, that will do. I'm happy with that. Let me just lift that up so you can see a little bit better, like so. And my trug then, I think, is going to go here, like so. Gonna lift that up and put it on some dimensionals, which I hope I can find. I've got some dark ones here, black ones, they'll do for our purposes. So we do have a set of black dimensionals that comes in 2 different sizes. It's a mixed pack, so very useful if you stamped on a dark piece of card. All of this is going to go onto our base card as well. So that. And then all I need is a sentiment to go across the top. Do I need one? Yes, I need one just under the top of there maybe. Oh no, it's caught. Okay, So there's our basic scene, and let me find a suitable, just trying to think whether to put that on and cut it off. Undecided. Okay, it's going to go on there. Now I could, thinking about it, I think I will trim this down a little bit, take that little edge off. So I'm just going to take 1/2 centimetre off 2 sides. So I'm just using that right hand marker. And then I'm going to put another layer behind it just to make it stand out, I think. Which could be Calypso Coral even, Cajun Craze, Early Espresso. Let's have a look and see. Probably Espresso. Or Lost Lagoon, which is one of the colours I used. Maybe that would be a better contrast. So that's Lost Lagoon. And let me try Cajun Craze. Maybe that's better. Let me know if you think any differently. I think that works nicely. And so my final touch will be a nice sentiment across the top. So this is going to measure 10 centimetres by 14.35, and hopefully that will layer nicely on our other piece of basic beige. This one here. Like so. Let's do that. So scribble of glue on the back, like that. Would make a nice Mother's Day card, as that's coming up next month. So there you go. And then that's going to go onto there. Like that. There we go. And now apologies if you've commented. My screen isn't showing any further comments other than the initial ones. So if you have commented, I do apologise for not acknowledging that. Right, let me just add a sentiment to that. I wonder if... No. I want something quite bold. No. Okay. I know what I'm looking for. Bear with me. I just need to find it. That was what I had in mind. Happiest of birthdays. That would work. I wanted something fairly bold to go onto there. And ideally I want to put it up on a die cut, just to give it a little bit more impact. Let's see what I've got here in my magic box. It's a little bit too big. That would work, but might be a bit too plain. That works for size. But it's just a little bit too deep for my liking. Right, so one of those two would certainly do. I'm just wondering if that punch shape would work. It might do. Let me just try it. Now I know that my early espresso ink pad is rather light, so I'm going to switch to Cajun Craze, she says, which isn't there. I've got copper clay. And I don't use this one very much, so it should be a good colour. Right, I'm going to pop that in the middle. Oops. These are birthdays. Try this punch. And the good thing is you can sort of straighten it up in the punch. Ooh, just. And I was thinking putting some twine around here, but I don't think I am, because it's a little bit close in. It might do on that one though. Let me just stamp it and then I'll decide. Right, let me just trim that, because that's obviously not straight. You can see that. That feels better. And we do have some new punches coming out next week. And it means that I can make that into like a little tag. So let me do that. So there's a set of 3 punches. We have a thin slot. We also have a hole punch, and then we have like a tag shape. Let's see if I can get this to work. Just doing it by eye. Which may or may not work, of course. Okay. Let me grab some thread or something. This is what I was thinking was just to slit it through there, just to make it look a little bit more interesting, like so. Right, this is a bit wider and it's got a bit of gold in it. Yes, I think I prefer that. I've also got the dotty Hessian that would work. Decisions. So we can either have it dotty side up or down. Oh yes, I quite like that. Okay, let's move those out of the way and let's put a little bit of glue on the back. A glue dot would also work. I just want to hold it roughly in place. That's all. Like that. Oops. And then pop that and then chop the 2 ends off. Three dots worth. And I'm going to pop that on with dimensionals. And I'll use these little ones because then I can put it either side of that ribbon without creating any extra bulk. And we're done. So, sorry it took a bit longer than intended. The base card was quick enough once I decided where everything was going. So I hope you like it. So this is Storybook Garden Patch. So if you order this stamp set of the week, you'll get these components. So you'll get the die cut watering can and pots and things like that, and the layers of all the cards. I'm going to pop these just there, I think. There we go. Let those sit out on the top. So there's our finished card. I hope you like it. I might put the pots on the inside, as I've cut those out ready. They'll be ready to go. I might stamp the trowel or something on the inside as well, but I hope you like the basic idea of the card itself. So a step up from just doing the stamping, so it just depends on the look that you like really, but they're rather fun. I do like the ground with the little slits in. Obviously you could create that yourself, like I've done with the trug, just using the take your pick tool with the knife to slice through that so they're sitting in there quite nicely. So there we go. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Thank you Caroline and Carol and Fran and anybody else who's hopped on board that I can't see. Apologies if I haven't acknowledged you. So those are the dies which I'm going to put away straight away. But I hope you like it. A little bit of fun, something slightly different. And we'll be at Coffee and Card tomorrow afternoon at the Lounge Cafe Bar in Brackley. So we'll be doing some more of these cards here with just the stamp set. So thank you so much, and remember, if you buy the stamp set and the dies together, you get a 10% discount, and you can find these in our mini catalogue, the January to April mini catalogue. So thank you so much. Do take care. Enjoy your morning, afternoon or evening, depending on where you are and when you are watching. Thank you so much. Take care now. Bye bye.